And Manchester City top, of course, and Liverpool giving chase just a point behind. So it's Manchester City against Liverpool, 12:30 kickoff, and it's live on Talk Sport. I mean, Danny, I know it's difficult to call, and I know where your allegiances lie. You would love Liverpool to win it, and I'm not surprised at that. But is it going to tell us much if we get a winner on the day as to the destination of the Premier League title?
Well, I think if Liverpool go there and win, it certainly cements their position as a contender again, for sure.
As the contender?
Probably, yeah. I think it's a fascinating game because of the quality that's on show. It's a little bit disappointing that it's 12:30, only because of the tempo and quality that you want to see the game played at.
Did Jurgen tell you to say that?
No, I just think from forget from...
We're going to get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, but anyway, forgetting that, putting that aside, I think it's an intriguing game because I think we saw what City have been doing recently is releasing one of the centre-halves into midfield, whether it be a Akanji or Stones, rather than a full-back. And I think we saw at Chelsea that if you've got pace against them and there's a quick turnover, there's space to run into. And if Liverpool have Diaz, Salah and Núñez up top, there's no one better equipped than utilising spacing behind teams than those three. So I don't see City at home changing what they've been doing, which is releasing. It was Akanji at Chelsea. Stones, when he plays, he does it. One of the centre-halves is released into midfield, which creates spaces. And they're confident in keeping the ball and scoring goals themselves. The way City play, it's a great thing to watch. On the flip side, what you've got is Liverpool releasing Trent into a midfield area from right back. And if Doku plays, with his amazing pace and directness, that's going to cause Liverpool a problem because Konaté's been injured. And if Matip plays there and has to cover Trent, lack of athleticism against Doku. So there's all these little technical things going on.
Incidentally, what about John Stones? Apart from the fact he's a hell of a nice guy, I've met him on a number of occasions. He's come a long way since playing for his hometown club, Barnsley, hasn't he?
Best centre-half we've got. Bar none. Best. Yeah. With the ball, best defect, quick, strong, takes the ball anywhere, can come out with it. Yeah, wonderful. To win the Euros, he's got to be fit. For us to have a chance.
And has this become a bigger rivalry for Liverpool with Manchester City than the one with United?
No, I think it's
more meaningful, surely.
Yeah, I think there's been some bigger games in recent years because of them fighting the title out. It's become more the games have become more pivotal and monumental in the moment. But the rivalry of Liverpool Man U will always be greater than Liverpool Man City, irrelevant of what's going on in the league. There's more hatred there. There's more rivalry. Goes back decades. That the Liverpool City thing would have to grow a bit more. Yeah. But you're right. Yeah, there has been games recently where everything's been resting on it. This is a huge game. It's a bigger game for Liverpool in many ways.
Well, I mean, the incentive's huge. If they can find a way of going there and winning, and we're heading towards Christmas and the turn of the year, the incentive is huge. I would have thought that it springboards them into right. Let's see if we can go all the way now.
Yeah, especially after last season.
If City win, not so.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I think from tipping in the past, and our record is not brilliant in this respect. Yours is better than mine, but I think you would probably take City to win, Simon, with home advantage.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. And history has taught us that lesson in terms of the nature of this fixture. I mean, obviously, we've seen teams like Tottenham Hotspur go to Man City and beat them in games when Man City were in their pomp, and it hasn't changed the direction. I don't think either one of these teams winning in this game defines the outcome of the league.
No.
I think it gives you a confirmation of where people are at this moment in time, not where they're necessarily going to be. Man City are the best team in the country. Probably Man City are the best team in Europe.
Best
Liverpool
team in the world.
And the world, probably. You're probably right, yeah. And Liverpool are pushing again and starting to rebuild and starting to get back to where they were when I have always felt that Liverpool, I would rather watch Liverpool than I'd rather watch Manchester City. Not because of any particular bias I have towards Manchester City or Liverpool, but I've always enjoyed the brand of football that Liverpool play. More exciting, more exhilarating, more feral. And I think Danny said it, and a number of people have said it. It's not meant to be disrespectful when you say Man City are boring, but the domination of the ball almost has a familiar feel to it and an outcome that you know that's coming. Whereas with Liverpool, there's more exhilaration and more excitement. But I respect Man City's performances. I respect the beauty of their side. I think that, again, I would expect Man City to win this game.
The big problem is with this time, trying to predict this one is really difficult because there's two factors. One is the injuries and knocks coming back from international. We don't know yet. Haaland's a doubt, etc., etc. And the other thing is the attitude of the managers to play those players who might be turning up from South America on Thursday morning or whatever. Because I think Liverpool's, as I just mentioned earlier, it's crucial that you have pace to score against City and beat City. Generally, I think pace is key.
Pace is key.
Well, not just pace, energy and pace.
Yeah.
So
why do you see Liverpool as a stronger title contender than Arsenal, say? Is it the Klopp factor?
When I look at it's firepower for me with those two. That's the key. I think there's lots of arguments with Liverpool, Arsenal, where you can say you'd rather have him than him and all that. We could go there all day. And the managers, both, terrific guys doing good things. Klopp's obviously got more experience. The key thing, of course, Klopp's got more experience. And I'd say, in answer to that. But when you look at Liverpool's firepower compared to Arsenal, so I've just mentioned Núñez, Salah, and Diaz would be my front three.
Yeah,
and then you've still got Jota and Gakpo to back them up. I don't think when you name Arsenal's, you feel the same.
No.
Because Saka's not Salah. He's a great player, but he's not Salah's numbers.
Yeah.
Jesus isn't.
I watched Martinelli rip into Seville.
Yeah, Núñez won't score. Núñez will score more than Jesus. Jota will score more than Jesus. And Diaz will probably score more than Martinelli now he's fit. Or equal. So, and
Is Saka not featuring in this?
Yeah, no, I just compared Saka and Salah.
Right.
Both terrific players, but Saka can't hit Salah's numbers.
Right.
So Liverpool's firepower for me is when I look at the two teams now, I think they'll finish above Arsenal because of their firepower.
Well, as you rightly say, there's a whole bunch of them coming back from international duty, and a whole bunch of them coming back from the other side of the world.
Exactly.
In,
So it's
in South America, and you mentioned it there. This 12:30 kickoff before the break, before they all toddled off. Klopp couldn't help himself and brought up the significance of this 12:30 kickoff time.
How can you put the game like this on Saturday 12:30? Honestly, the people who are making these decisions, they cannot feel football. It's just not possible. They must, if that's the moment where the world pays the most to see a football game. Nobody has to tell us. I don't know if that's the case or not. I really don't know. But I think there would have been a moment where you could let these two teams who have altogether probably 30 international players, they all come back in the same plane, by the way. The South Americans sit all in the same plane and fly back. We pick them up, and then Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina, all Colombia, one game, one plane, and then we arrive here. So it's really mad.
So, I mean, we know that. There is a list, and it's a lengthy one, Simon. Edison, Allison, Alvarez, McAllister, Darwin Núñez.
That's the consequence of buying the world's best players, isn't it?
Well, do you know what? I think you're right, though. When you buy a player who represents a country from South America, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he's talking more about, and normally I agree with you. I think you get on with it. You know, if you're Liverpool or Man City, you've got the best team, you're the best, one of the biggest clubs in the world. You've got this worldwide fan base. So unfortunately, the TV companies are going to dictate when you play, and you have to take it on the chin. You know, you earn your $8 million a year, you manage great players, get on with it. But actually, on this one, I make Klopp right, because what I think is where he's going with this is this fixture is amazing. Because two great teams going head to head, and everybody should want to see these two teams.
That's his latest shtick.
No, I know, but it can only talk about what
he didn't like. So now he's now basically attacking the principle because he knows the argument that he's going to be.
No, but there is. Let me finish. There's substance in this particular argument he's bringing, which is this game is one of the best games you'll see in our season. And we want to see all the best players at full tilt, full energy and full fitness going at it. And if they're all flying back from all over, you're not going to get the best quality game that you could see a day later.
Yes, I knew what you were going to say. That's his latest shtick.
Yes,
that is
but I
his
can only
latest
go on
version.
what he's just said,
because
What do you mean?
Well, he's now looking at the idea and saying, well, I've complained about it endlessly, about the unfairness of it, right? So that's fallen on infertile ground. I've complained about other things as a result of it. It's constantly us. So now what I'll do is I'll go to the nub of it, because I know that the argument's going to come back at me. And the argument is going to come back at me, which is, come on, guys, these are the broadcast packages that are sold. And as a result of these broadcast packages, these slots need to be filled. And these broadcast packages are paid lots and lots of money for, right? And the reasons why you're in the economic position that you're in is because of these broadcast packages being sold. Yeah. So pack it in. So he's now going after the argument saying, well, actually, you'll diminish that sooner rather than later, because if we don't serve up good fare, then these broadcast packages won't be sold. And they won't be in a situation with equality. So what would the argument be then? Don't have a 12:30 slot, right? Or put Burnley versus Sheffield United in that slot and see how that gets sold.
Yeah, I see your point, but the fact is, if you forget Klopp saying it, somebody else.
Whoever.
Yeah,
well, you can't forget Klopp saying it.
I've just said I agree with. You've got to get on. You've got to get on.
Where he does have a case is it does seem to be repeatedly and endlessly Liverpool that
double
find
more
this
than
slot.
double more than anyone
This does
else.
seem to be a strange phenomenon. sat there with your latest £88 million centre forward, right? You can work out why that might be when you see the frequency of which you're on TV in certain slots. And you can think to myself, oh, I'm really lucky that I'm not scrapping around trying to buy a centre forward for £10 million. And he'll say, I'm not competing in that marketplace. I'm competing against Man City and I'm competing against whoever else that's got the prerequisite funds. Look, I have empathy with him that he is the repeated go-to club on that basis. So there is solidity in his argument.
Well,
but the argument
Argentina last night. Allison was in goal for Brazil.
It's not the game. It's the travel.
McAllister was in the Argentina lineup.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Diaz plays for Colombia. Salah plays for Egypt.
Yeah, but this one was last night.
Yeah, Salah's not playing last night.
This one was last night.
I
Salah
didn't see
wasn't
the
playing
picture,
last night.
Did he not?
So Brazil-Argentina,
sure?
as you rightly say, was in our early hours here. But the chances are they're back. So where are we now? Wednesday lunch. The game's Saturday lunchtime.
Well, I'll tell you from. I was just
They'll be
going
back in a private jet. They're not still trying to check in.
It's
at
not
Rio Airport.
It's not the day of the game. It's for the lads who travel as well. But the ones who are further afield,
They're not
like
sitting in an EasyJet, with this.
No, but I was just going to give you my. I've done it, even from going into Europe. So say you go into Spain or Greece or whatever, and you come back on a Thursday, and you're playing on a Saturday morning lunch. It's harder playing that time than it is on the Saturday afternoon, evening. We used to play Leeds at 11:30 in the morning. You probably remember the games at Ellen Road, Jim. We used to. I don't know why they did it. Probably a policing one.
Tired.
Half 11.
Oh, you were shattered. Yeah.
It's not
Drinking.
No.
What?
That's probably because of the licensing restrictions upon being able to drink yourself to a standstill in a game against Liverpool.
We're laughing about something that's you're laughing about it because you've not experienced it. The quality of the
No, we're laughing.
No, not you. No, the quality of the game.
Quite right, Danny.
You're laughing about something. The quality of the game is inferior at that time of day than it is later in the day or the next day when you play.
Okay, so help us why.
We'll remind you of that when it's 4 each.
Is that because of the physicality requirements of having an extra 2 or 3 hours makes that much difference, or is it because of the atmosphere around the game? What is it?
It's a physicality of when you need to be at your absolute best to play the best team in the world.
Mm. All right, well, let's see how it goes.
You've got to be really at it. You've got to be really at it.
Yeah.
Well, it might be a great game, Jim, and we've sat here laughing about it next week.
Yeah.
But the chances are, and if you go back, have a look later, just if you're bored.
But I don't think Klopp should worry about the broadcasters and their reaction to the quality. That's
I
their
agree.
problem. That's their problem.
I agree with
So
you.
his latest shtick, which is designed to redirect it back to others that are negating his arguments, because most people are going, shut up and get on with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
But if you look at just
shtick?
the last thing I'd say is
SCHTICK.
just generally the last thing I'd say is
Go on.
look at the fixtures from the beginning of the season till now at 12:30 on a Saturday, irrelevant of internationals. Very few of them are good games.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. No problem. On Monday.
Have a look.
So it's 5.
I will.
So it was 5 each at the Etihad. Where's Danny?